Hello, beautiful people,
Hello, beautiful people.
and welcome to another episode of Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, exactly. So, somebody asked you something. If the bees are gonna go extinct.
Yeah, no, let's start at the very beginning. Today I posted an article on Facebook about it had a picture of a bee lying on its back, and it said, while America is busy with the Kardashians and clowns and these crazy elections, no one has noticed that 6 new bees have been added. 6 new species of bees, types of bees have been added to the list of extinct animals. And there's no attention for this. And then the first and only comment that I got to that was an article from not a friend, how do you say that, an acquaintance of mine, that posted a post from the Washington Post about this just being a media hoax and the bees are actually fine. The only kind of bees that are going extinct are the ones that are like on Hawaii or whatever, and the rest of the bees are supposedly just fine. And she just asked me, wrote to it, what do you think about this? And I've been thinking about it the whole afternoon because, well, let me just start with who are you going to believe? An actual scientific post, an actual scientific website posting these very interesting small facts about, actual facts, or an American huge news website that is probably a little bit, if not a lot,
Biased.
Biased and forced into the direction of the people with the money, how they like it. So, yeah, and I don't know a good way to tell her, of course, to tell her this, because I actually don't know why she's reading stuff from the Washington Post.
Washington Post is that website.
Yeah.
Well, in general, I find it very helpful to not believe anything from only one website. I think you need to find a website, if you research stuff, find several websites that you believe, and if all of them post the same thing, then it's quite chance is quite high that it's actually true. But these days it's almost impossible to find out if something is true, because to be honest, if something is a Facebook post or if something is in the mainstream news media, to my point of view, the chances that it's true is just about the same.
The thing is, getting back to the bees, I totally agree that when it's on Facebook and so, I usually don't believe it right away. But this with the bees has been longer than just a media thing right now. This has been going on for several years. Actual scientists trying to point us out, like, hey guys, our environment is changing and our insects are suffering. And especially the bees are very important for us for pollination. The Bee Movie has been made. I think that's already nearly 10 years old. I don't know. This is not a thing that just recently popped up. This is a serious issue. And I think anyone who has any kind of sense, they can see the impact that global warming has on our planet. And if you're going to believe a post from an American website, and I'm very struggling with the idea of Americans at the moment. Not all, of course, please don't think all, but Trump is not really giving us Europeans and everyone else in the world a good view on America, and it has been shown recently how many of your top, how do you say that, the people in the top jobs, the people at the very top, they don't believe in change in climate. This is not happening.
Yeah, this is something
this
that
is made
how's this
up.
actor called?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, he pushes this idea of climate change,
Yeah.
because I think 97% of all the research shows that climate change is real, and
97% people.
It's not really a thing of, but you believe it in it or not, you know.
It's real, people. It's
real.
happening all around us.
And that's why I don't think, like, I don't even care at all if this particular post about the bees is false or if it's correct. It doesn't really matter at all to me, you know. This is just part of the big picture, and the big picture is we are harming the planet with most of the things we're doing, and I just try to not participate in that all too much, you know. Of course, we also produce waste. We have 2 little children. They need diapers. I mean, need, you know. There we go again.
It's more comfortable for us that they wear diapers, but for example, in those
throwaway
big
diapers.
Yeah, throwaway diapers. For example, in those decisions, we try to do the best we can. With the first one, we used cloth diapers until he was 10 months old, and with the second one, and with the first one too, from 10 months on, we used these biodegradable diapers.
Yeah.
Diapers.
I mean, they're gonna be burned. Our rubbish is gonna be burned here, and they make energy out of it. Yeah. But yeah, about the bees, you know, how does it really matter? I cannot change something about that particular thing. The only thing I can change is trying to buy organic fruits and vegetables where they don't spray them.
Mm-hmm.
And I admit I don't buy 100% organic. It is very expensive.
It's very expensive, and it's not always that much better where we live.
Mm-hmm.
We test it out sometimes to see which taste better, which not really look better, but mainly which taste better and which are more ripe. And sometimes it's not always the bio stuff, but we do our best in trying to buy lots of bio, because we use a lot of fruits and vegetables. And
it's called organic in English.
Oh, it's called organic. I'm sorry. Bio is organic.
Biological.
Biological.
That's a German thing. So just you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bees.
The bees.
I mean, I like bees. They're very nice people.
People.
And, yeah.
Creatures.
Yeah. Why not people?
I remember the bee that we saw on our window, and it was very weak and it was very poor, and we gave it some sugar syrup, and he was drinking from it, and our oldest boy, 2 years old at the time, he was just watching him for the longest time. And you know, attention spans of 2-year-old, then all of a sudden he just forgot, and he and he smacked his hand on top of him. Thankfully the bee was not harmed, and the boy was not harmed either.
But the bee woke up.
The bee woke up.
Yeah. The bee woke up. He didn't smack it because he wanted to kill it.
No.
He just forgot it was there.
He forgot it was there.
Yeah. So nothing happened.
No.
But he got stung by a bee once.
Yeah.
That was a bit scary because, you know, with these little children, you don't know if they're allergic yet, when they have never been stung before. So, but he was okay.
He was alright.
The bee was not okay.
The bee
of course
was not alright.
No.
But the boy was.
The boy was.
Mm.
And I really think, I mean, you can do a lot. All of us can do a lot to save bees. It's just, for example, one thing. I know that in China there are big areas in China where there actually are no bees anymore, and in agricultural areas, and that's a big problem. I mean, apparently, for the Chinese, nothing is a problem because the people pollinate the fruit trees themselves now. I think in this area where I saw a documentation about that.
I remember that.
Yeah. They have cherry trees, I think, and they just climb these trees and pollinate the trees by hand, you know. And I mean, that's a proof when you use too many chemicals, the bees are gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm.
and that is just happened. That already happened.
Those
So
bees don't want those cherry trees anymore.
no.
Mm-mm.
So why wouldn't it happen somewhere else too?
Mhm.
And the bees also the bees
The bees, no, the
bees
bees.
the bees are also not coming back so quickly because there is a lot of. It needs a while. I mean, they will
Yes.
come back if you stop spraying
Mhm.
eventually.
Mhm. Yeah, but how easy is it really to stop spraying? Is that really possible? I mean, I'm not. Yeah, am I talking Monsanto-Geschichte stories? I don't know. Yeah, but how easy is it to stop spraying? Can we stop spraying?
There are organic farmers.
Yeah, lots.
There are lots of organic farmers. I just think that if all the research that goes into spraying into these chemicals, if all these hundreds of thousands of hours and money of research went into organic farming, like permaculture and basically permaculture is the thing. If all that went into that instead, we would be so far ahead right now,
Mhm.
and we wouldn't need all these sprays. I'm pretty sure of that.
So, the question of today: to be or not to be?
To be or not to be, yeah. A really serious.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
a really serious topic today. To be or
Yeah.
not to be.
No.
It's in the bee movie. If the bees go, we also go.
Yeah. Or most part of our delicious food goes.
Yeah.
You have to think about that.
I want
It's-
those fruits. So don't spray.
Yeah, I want them
much.
fruits. Fruity
Mm.
fruities too. Fruity.
What was that? It was funny though.
Yeah. So
So I think we
So,
should end this episode right here.
plant those flowers.
Yeah.
And in summer, leave tiny bowls of water with very, very little water in them so the bees can actually still touch the ground without drowning and drink at the same time, because those bees are thirsty and they're hungry. So plant many, many wildflowers and don't mow your lawn. It's the best excuse to not mow your lawn. The bees! They need them flowers.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Yeah.
I don't like lawns at all. I mean, also we have a green surface in our garden, which consists of some grass and a lot of moss and other flowers and stuff.
And right now, a shitload of mushrooms.
Yeah, we have lots of mushrooms. Like they are actually edible in
Really?
theory. Yeah,
Oh,
but I'm not 100% sure.
No. I told our oldest one not to touch them.
Mhm.
And he spent like 10 minutes going,
Yeah, it was very humid the last days and freezing, and they are just mushy. Like,
and they look brown, and they kind of do look like,
Yeah. the mushrooms.
mushrooms, yeah. Not the grass. The grass is fine.
Yeah. So and in spring, for example, I always let the flowers grow a bit so the bees can actually eat some, and they need food. If you have a vegetable garden, also plant some flowers
Yeah.
around it, because the bees always need food.
Think of the bees.
Think of the bees, people.
All right. Peace out.
Bees out.